Nice kiss.
I am not used to video. I'm shy, so usually
Wow. Let's go together.
let's go together.
First of all,
Yes. I'll keep laughing if it's okay.
thank you for coming.
Yes, of course. Thank you for inviting me.
Welcome to Coordinator. She wants to interview at first. Was in your gallery, but this time is not.
시간 없어요.
시간이 없어가지고. doing
Yes.
today. She
Welcome my friend.
yeah.
Thank you. It's beautiful. So I'm happy to be here.
Let's start.
Yes.
First question. To simply to simplify the explanation of the artwork.
I can say my work is around the harmony of life and death, and obviously there are many layers of it, but that's one thing that really has always been with me throughout my life, especially in the latest few years after I experienced the loss of someone. I really started to think more and more deeply about death and how inevitable it is and how it impacts our life, well, by ending it. And that's something that we cannot escape, and it's something that each and every one of us will understand, even because it's not just mine. And even though I think about it, it's something that everybody else experiences, either firsthand with some, like the people around us, or by thinking about it. And so it's something that connects all of us. Since death is such an unescapable part of all of our lives, it actually makes it limited. And so the experience that we have on the planet is even more special, because if it was forever and forever and forever, then every day would just be almost boring and we would find it harder to find a meaning. But if we keep in mind that one day we will not have this anymore, we can reflect on what a special and unique gift it actually is. So I think my artwork is all about the connection of both life and death, and how they are connected, but also the fact that we all share this same fate, and so that makes us connected as well. So there's a lot about metaphors about emotions and feelings, because that's something that I use to express myself. So my art is a way to actually let out of these emotions, because I'm not a person who speaks a lot about my own feelings, but I find a way to do it through art. And so by putting it on the canvas or on the paper, I really wish that people can connect through it and maybe experience the same things, or feel less alone if they are feeling some specific kind of emotions, maybe sad emotions. Maybe they can feel less alone by looking at my art, and they can know that someone else goes through that and that we are never really alone throughout all of our experience.
Can you tell me more about feeling the real world from the inside out of what you said?
Yeah. I think I am a very sensitive person and emotional. I tend to not show it. So people always, like my friends or family, they always say that I'm very strong and that I'm very stoic. But in the inside, sometimes I'm very, there's a lot going on. So that's also why I use art, because that way I don't have to speak in words. But to keep it simple, I decided to start showing my art as a way to open up more and literally showing this part of my soul to the world. And that's also why I've been starting to also share my written thoughts in poems. I tend to get sad a lot, but sometimes it's even in a good way, because when I experience something that's very positive or joyful, there's always a part of me that tends to be sad, because I'm aware that that happy moment is going to end and is going to fly away. It brings emotions also to the plane of time, which means that while you're experiencing a certain emotion, you know that at some point it's going to end, and then maybe it's going to change and then maybe come back. But it also goes back to the fact that I think we should always fully embrace all types of emotions and let them surround us. And so even if sometimes I tend to get a little bit sad or melancholic, it's also good, because then when I am happy, it makes it even more special, because then I remember when I'm not, and I'm like, but right now I am. So this is even more, like, I cherish it even more.
Is it really hard that you show your inner side?
Yes, it's actually very hard for me. It's hard to talk about in general, but I think it's the right thing to do, because as I was saying before, I feel like it brings me closer to other people, and it might bring other people closer to me, and not necessarily as an individual, but more of a collective human experience. And so I think it's helpful for us as humans to connect that way and to share emotions, because sometimes in today's society, I feel like emotions or true feelings get a little discarded. But I think it's what is essential to us and what makes us human, and we should be able to share it more and connect more. So even if it's hard, I think it's still a good thing to do, and so that's why I try to keep doing it.
What's your favorite work from this exhibition?
I think my favorite is Released. This piece has a really big meaning to me, and it's actually what brings the whole collection together, I think, because it's a big symbol of not only going through a hard time, but coming out of it better and feeling like what you went through really made you feel like a newborn person. And in this case, it's symbolized by this flower that breaks apart the person, and it's a symbol of growth and overwhelming emotion, bringing the real you out of what you thought was you. So I really feel like it expresses what I went through in this past few years, actually, how I grew as a person, and how I also aspire to keep growing and feeling better. I know that it's a little dark because there's a lot of black in this piece, but I think the main part, the flower, is really what you are drawn to look at, and it's also how I intended it to be. That really symbolizes the whole piece. I think even though it's a little dark, I think it really symbolizes hope.
Second question.
Yes.
How did you get to work with music artists? Who started?
Well, it all began when I was in high school, because I've always liked drawing, and I've always liked art. Some of my friends had music bands. They knew that I liked to draw, and so they started asking me just, hey, can you design the logo for our band, or can you design the t-shirt for our band? And I was like, yeah, sure. Of course, I would just do it for fun. And then, so I started like that with smaller bands, just teenage bands. And then as I went on with university, I kept doing it. So I was also learning a lot and, you know, getting better and better. And so I had other friends of friends in other bands asking me. This was only on the Italian music scene in that moment, but with bigger bands and more national bands, and so a little more and more, step by step. And then afterwards, I decided that I wanted to be an artist, like full-time artist in the music industry. And so, thanks to, you know, internet and my website, my portfolio, and Facebook, Instagram, that's how I started connecting with other international music bands. And then they just kept, I don't know, luckily they kept getting better, like more better chances to interact with even more like bigger artists and musicians. All of a sudden I realized that I was working with these like very big merchandising companies in New York and Los Angeles who manage these very big artists, like worldwide known artists. So that was very like humbling for me, and I really realized how lucky I was. So I've always done my best because I feel super grateful to be able to work. Sometimes it's legendary singers and bands, and I'm like, me? You're asking me? That's so cool. And it's even more inspiring and rewarding, of course.
Wow. Your talent is nice.
Thank you. 감사합니다.
Wow. Do you have an impressive episode with the artist?
Yeah, the 17. I was very lucky to be brought on the project. Honestly, I didn't know them before, but I did these designs for the North America tour. And while I was working on the project, I started listening to this music. And also one of my friends, she was a big fan. She's a carrot as well. And so she was like, yeah, you should listen to them. I think you will like them. And I was working on the projects, I was listening to the music, and for me as an Italian person living in New York, it was very different because I didn't have any experience with K-pop music. So for me it was such a new world to experience. And I was also, they were touring North America, and so I was also given a ticket to the show in New York. The encore at the end of the show, when they came back to sing 3 more songs, they were actually wearing the t-shirts that I designed. And so to me in that moment it felt incredible, because obviously the whole show was amazing and they are great performers, but then when they came back on the stage wearing these t-shirts that I designed, I was looking at them on the stage, and I realized how incredible it was, because up until a few days before, those were just images that I drew on my computer. But then in that moment, I was there in this huge arena, and there were thousands and thousands of people all singing and cheering, and they were all looking at them, and they were wearing this art that I made. And so it really made me think a lot about what I do, like as an artist, and how it connects me with, you know, all these people, but also these musicians from another country on the other side of the world. And so to me that was very special, and it made me very, very grateful.
와, 진짜 부럽다.
After the show, my friend and I, we exited the venue, and all the fans were buying the t-shirts and the merchandise, and it was very exciting to see so many people wearing these things. And my friend, she was like stopping people and be like, she designed it, she made it. And so it was a shy, of course, but it was a very unexpected feeling. And
That's my dream.
I know, I'm very, very grateful that happened.
How old are you?
How old am I? I'm 34.
Oh.
Yes. Shock.
She thought you were 20s.
Well, Oh, thank you.
Oh.
No, I just turned 34 last week.
Oh, happy birthday!
Oh, 진짜네. Last week.
Last week, yeah. I had my birthday in Seoul.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday to you.
Thank you so much. That's why I had a lot of time to to learn and meet bands and get better.
1991?
90.
90. She's saying.
Really?
Oh, April.
April. Oh,
Oh.
soon. Oh, we celebrate together when I'm back.
Do you think how old are you?
Oh, I don't know. Well,
Rich
then
kids?
if you said that I'm also when you were younger, very young, you're
Very
23.
23?
younger.
Yeah. Korean age? 21?
21?
Or 19?
19.
Yeah.
Teenager.
Maybe Agi.
Right, that's right.
So it's really big experience for in my age to meet you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thank
I want
you.
to say is thank you.
Oh, no, you're making me blush.
Next,
Next.
third question. The opportunity to meet the artist in Korea. What's the next exhibition?
Okay, so
Sika Museum.
yes, Sika Museum Gimposhi in April.
Mhm.
There's a group exhibition in which I will participate with one of my newer paintings. It's a little bit of a different style, but it's still black and white and about life and death. I will bring this piece because it's a collaboration, like it's a group exhibition called Abstract Mind. And then right afterwards, in May, I have my own solo exhibition in Sika Museum, and it's called Happy Nightmares. And so that's also about emotions, but more of a mysterious feeling to it, and about things that maybe we can experience, but also maybe we hide from ourselves, and so we find them in the world of dreams and nightmares. And then afterwards, I will come back later on in the year. I have a very cool project with Gallery Soyeon that I cannot say a lot about it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a secret,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be very exciting, and it goes beyond just paintings. There's gonna be more to that. So, but we're really taking our time to do it properly, and we are focusing on making the best out of it. I will only be able to share more later on in the future, but it's very exciting, so I'm looking forward to that at Gallery Soyeon.
와. 기대된다.
Really look forward to seeing them, all of your work.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
한글로 써있는 Rare
Oh,
Wow.
so
GAAE. Ah, uh-huh.
right?
Right?
Mm?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm learning.
Thank you.
Thank you, really. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for inviting me.
It's time.
Next time, I will be able to answer in Korean. I
Oh,
mean,
really?
because I will prepare.
wow.
I was trying, I was hoping my major is actually languages.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's not Korean. Unfortunately, it's just English, German, and Spanish.
Wow. Oh
So
my god.
yeah, I really like languages. So, and Italian, of course. Italian is my native. Now 4, but soon.
Soon.
Five.
Already.
No.
Beginner Korean.
Beginner.